You're listening to Heritage Radio Network.
We are back at last call with a big question making waves in the drink world. How can wine fight back against RTDs? The latest IWSR report shows just how quickly consumer preferences are shifting. RTDs are winning on convenience, flavor innovation, and social media buzz, while wine continues to wrestle with an aging consumer base and a reputation for being less accessible. In some markets, RTD volumes already exceed those of still and sparkling wine combined. That's a wake-up call. So, what do we think as a collective? Is wine ready to adapt, or are RTDs just pulling too far ahead?
I think this is so absolutely fascinating. We discussed earlier some insights about who the wine consumer is, and we know that 42% of folks that drink alcohol spend their money across category. So this is very real and very pertinent. You know, the idea that they might be a different consumer is just not true, particularly because 2/3 of that 42% account for the value that drives those sales. So it is a very real and top of mind issue that RTDs are outpacing and cannibalizing some of wine's market share. This combined with the fact that we know that the wine industry has an age problem, it is not appealing to younger consumers, as we've discussed time and time again. And RTDs are competitive. They have less friction. They meet consumers where they're at because they don't require a corkscrew or a glass. They're often served at the right temperature, which is chilled, which might not be the case if you're getting a glass of white wine at a music festival.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, this report sort of reinforced a lot of stuff that we know, which is, Gen Z makes up 12% of still wine drinkers, but 15% of RTD consumers. What it says is like, wine is failing to recruit the next generation of drinkers, while RTDs, for many reasons, are proving to be really sticky for these younger LDA audiences. To me, what it says is like, look, wine really does need to fix its accessibility and its marketing challenges. Otherwise, it risks becoming a legacy product category. I mean, I just think as we see across all categories, the single serve format becoming more and more in demand, really, because of a variety of reasons. As we discussed in previous episodes with Rabobank and many others, the Gen Z generation is broke at this time. So those little treats, the affordable indulgences, the single serve, that is really what a younger audience is looking for. And wine does need to respond in a more effective way.
Yeah, and this made me think about a conversation that I had with Evan Burns from the Finnish Long Drink in episode 62, where he sort of turned the tables on me and asked me what I think wine could be doing better. And when we were talking about, moving fast, breaking things, and in a lot of scenarios, wine can't really move faster or be any flashier than RTDs. There's the issue of it being a one-time per year harvest for this product, right? You can't move that fast when you're waiting for your grapes once per year. But that doesn't mean that you can't adopt that mindset in a way. And I think that's what we've seen with some successful wine brands that we've had on, like Winey Baby or Field Recordings, where they are creating labels that like really capture a moment and, more importantly, personality. And I think that the move away from tradition can be really uncomfortable for people who have gotten into wine by falling in love with the tradition. But the fact of the matter is that if that's something that being engaging with younger consumers, if that is something that you are interested in doing, it's something that does have to happen in order to become more accessible and be in the occasions where people are drinking RTDs. You want them to just all be together,
Brand, I think, is really key here. And Richard Halstead, who is the COO of Consumer Insights at IWSR, says that simpler branding cues are a way for wine to gain a little bit more attention. I mean, think about it. When folks buy an RTD at a music festival or sporting event, not only are they buying the brand, but they are advertising the brand because literally the label is traveling with them. When you get a glass of wine in a red Solo cup, you don't have that advantage. The ability to convey that as simply as possible, makes me think of my experience 20 years ago in retail when literally 2 or 3 times a day, someone would come in saying, I'm looking for that wine, but I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
It had the blank on the label.
Yeah.
And that's something that RTD is winning at, that wine could win at if it maybe took a less wine-like approach when it comes to branding, labeling, and marketing.
There's an opportunity here around more modern packaging, simpler branding that feels more in line with CPG products. You even look at Beatbox. I mean, it really does almost look like an energy drink or something, and it's that wine punch, more or less. But, that also points to accessible flavor cues. Like, there's all of these sorts of things that wine brands could be leveraging from other categories to help them connect with younger audiences who are already familiar with those types of branding cues. So huge opportunity there. Really, it's reinvention, right? Reinvention is essential if wine wants to connect with the next generation and avoid further declines. We can't expect that, the younger audience right now is going to age into the type of behavior where they end each day with a glass of wine. Like, the data just does not support that right now. Much more occasion-based purchasing. And for that, there needs to be more formats available.
And it's up to brands to retrain consumers on how their specific alcohol fits into their lives. And I just love what you said, Scott, because I'm thinking about that. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm posting a lot of the drinks I have. And yeah, the wine just doesn't get its shout out that it deserves unless I'm standing there holding the bottle. And I'm not doing that at the baseball game or at the park. So anyway, that's some food for thought. And we're going to call it there for today. So thanks for joining us on the Business of Drinks. Please follow us on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, and tap the notification button so you'll be the first to know when we drop a new episode. Please help us spread the word. Click those star ratings and share on social. It really does help us find some new listeners. And finally, if there's a topic you'd like us to cover on the podcast, just tell us. We are available in our emails at podcast@businessofdrinks.com or in our DMs on Instagram and LinkedIn. We do respond to our messages, and we really look forward to hearing from you.